Hey friends, in this video we're going to talk about the latest immigration reform news, and I'm also going to dive into the strategy that Senator Menendez has put in place to get support on Capitol Hill before he introduces the U.S. Citizenship Act. If you're interested in those topics, watch this video. For those of you who are new to me, welcome to my channel. I do invite you to stick around by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you won't miss my latest updates. Now, what's happening on Capitol Hill? There are a lot of things happening around immigration reform. It can be very confusing to keep track of all of the different proposals out there. Here are the major things that I think we need to hone in on and watch over the next several months to see how they develop. Obviously, there's the COVID relief bill in which we've got to keep watching. As of today, February 7th, there really isn't a lot of discussion around immigration reform that's tie-barred or connected to the COVID relief bill. And as a matter of fact, the one opportunity that we were very excited about, some of us were very excited about, involved the essential workers and a pathway to citizenship for up to 5 million essential workers, as well as folks with DACA and TPS. However, Nancy Pelosi, as I've reported out to you, has indicated that she does not want the immigration component to be part of the budget reconciliation process. So the House and the Senate pass budget resolutions. The committees are now tasked with drafting legislation around the COVID relief bill. But I'm still watching the activities just in case something does come up that impacts immigration. Now, what's happening on the Senate side? The number one legislation around immigration reform is President Biden's U.S. Citizenship Act, in which Senator Menendez, as we've said, Senator Menendez is taking the lead on sponsoring. It has not yet been introduced, and this is the legislation that would provide an 8-year earned citizenship pathway for 11 million people. Those individuals who had come into the United States on or before January 1st, 2021. Hopefully that bill will be introduced any day now. The second bill that has a lot of promise is the DREAM Act. The DREAM Act is a bipartisan effort that was introduced by Senators Durbin and Lindsey Graham, and it provides residency and a pathway to citizenship for about 2 million people who entered into the United States under the age of 18. And so this impacts the younger folks who have DACA, as well as other people who do not have DACA, but fall into the criteria in this bill. So that's the DREAM Act. Then there's the Secure Act. The Secure Act was actually introduced in the last Congress by Senator Van Hollen, and it provides permanent residency for TPS holders. It has not been reintroduced into this current Congress. That's one that I'm keeping an eye on to see whether or not Senator Van Hollen will reintroduce it. Then we also have the Fairness for Immigrant Families Act, and this one it provides protection for immigrant families, combats fraud, promotes citizenship, and does a number of other things. There's no action that has been taken around this bill yet. It was introduced in the Senate last Congress as well, but that's another one to watch. There are some bills that passed the House during the last Congress and made its way to the Senate, but there were no action taken in the Senate. But we should still pay attention to what happens with these proposals. And the first one is the American Dream and Promise Act. It prohibits removal and gives residency status to certain aliens. That one, again, no action in the Senate. And then there's the Farm Workforce Modernization Act, also passed in the House in 2019, but there has not been any action in the Senate quite yet. And I do want to mention that there are other reform efforts on both the House and the Senate side that are on the opposite side of immigration, right? Or on the other side of reform. These are reform efforts that are being pursued by Republicans to restrict immigration in some way. And so there are a number of them. I've started a list here of those that I think you should know about. And this list will obviously get a little longer as time goes on, but the first one is by Senator Marsha backburn the Banned Birth Tourism Act. She reintroduced this act in January. It would deny the visitor's visa to women who are traveling to the U.S. with the intent of delivering or having a child here for the purpose of that child securing U.S. citizenship. The second bill that she reintroduced this year is the Stop Greenlighting Driver Licenses for Illegal Immigrants. This one would deny federal dollars to states that issue driver's license to undocumented immigrants. I will be updating this spreadsheet as time goes on. The U.S. Citizenship Act is the big legislation that provides the most comprehensive reform around immigration. And so in an interview just recently, Senator Menendez made some remarks about what his plans are for the U.S. Citizenship Act. He's looking for a robust immigration reform bill that also includes provisions for essential workers. He also talked about the fact that political capital from the White House is critical to this process of building support on the Senate side among Republicans. In answer to the question whether bipartisan support can really be achieved here with the U.S. Citizenship Act, he said, listen, we've done it before. There's a foundation for bipartisan support around immigration reform in the U.S. Senate. The Senate passed comprehensive immigration reform back in 2013. I was part of that coalition of senators that made it happen, but it just died in the House because the House at that time was controlled by Republicans. He then went on to say that some of his Republican colleagues are very concerned about agriculture, right? And farm workers. Those Republicans from those ag states, they care about immigration reform. And so he wants to include those Republicans in the new coalition that he is building. He also talked about including senators who are interested in various industries that need tech workers and other high-skilled workers. He's hoping to include those senators in the coalition. He said that he wants to see whether the coalition will cover the different pieces or elements of his immigration reform bill. But at the end of the day, what he is really looking for is significant reform. He sounded very optimistic that he can build this coalition of Republican senators to rally around the U.S. Citizenship Act and work together as a group to get to the point of at least having a robust reform bill or a significant reform bill. He didn't go as far as saying what significant reform is or what robust reform is. He simply said that he will do whatever it takes to get to 60 votes. That's the goal. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to share it with other people. Comment below, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.